Hello again, it's Brother Sean, and it's the series video number 6 in the Mrs. Doyle Father Ted scenario. Well, now Mrs. Doyle is on the train. She's leaving Dublin with a heavy heart. Why is that? Well, I guess after all these years of searching and engaging in a parrot fashion type prayer religion, she suddenly found a group of people that everybody was trying to put down, but a group of people nonetheless who found something in common: truth. And she's recapturing all the beautiful memories in her mind of that day, and when Sister Joy hugged her and Mary gave her a peck on the cheek and said, "Keep in touch." She's thinking, Jesus, she says, I haven't had love and friendship like that at the presbytery for all these years. I've been a wench, a dog's body. I would have got paid more if I was a Scarlet Woman. And she's feeling sad, and tears are running down her face because she felt that she'd come home. And her heart was happy. And then all of a sudden the train came to an abrupt stop. She was at her local station. The pony and trap was ready for her. She got on it. PJ had fed the horse. She gave him a lift and dropped him off at the farm. She made her way to the presbytery. It was raining. It was windy, resembling the mood that she'd find when she got in there from Father Jack and Father Ted. So she sneaked in the back way through the kitchen and up the back stairs to her bedroom to pretend that all was well and they wouldn't know whether she was in or out. And about an hour later she heard these footsteps coming up the front stairs and a big bang on the door. "Are you in there, Mrs. Doyle?" "Hello, who is it?" "It's Father Ted." "Where are you?" She said, "Oh, I'm resting, Father." "Well, when did you get back?" "Oh, ages ago, Father." "Oh, I thought you'd have been out for the night. Because you know what Dublin's like. Sin City, capital of Ireland." "Well, are you all right, Father?" "Yes, I'm grand. I'll see you in the morning for chapter and verse." So she's thinking to herself, Sunday morning, it's all religion. He's got 4 masses, one after the other. I can hardly get me breath from cooking breakfast, morning coffee, and then a full 3-course lunch for all the local clergy. Jesus, I'm run ragged with them. So she lay her head on the pillow. She looked at the picture of her mammy and daddy, and she just said to them, "Will you help me get out of this hellhole and find a bit of happiness for me?" She nodded off to sleep, and she dreamt such beautiful dreams. And she could hear Mary Kelly's voice whispering in her ear, "Well done, Mrs. Doyle. It takes courage to speak your truth, but it takes more courage to surrender your heart to that truth." And she could just see Sister Joy, the elegance of the woman, her graciousness, her kindness. It was endearing her to her because she represented a loving family who met online for prayer because they didn't have a base except that queer place in Cumbria that Mary Kelly said was better than a 5-star hotel. She went off to sleep, and then in the morning she heard the bell ring at 6 o'clock. Father Jack was on the rampage, confused as a bat, drunk as a skunk. So she got up, she went to the hen house, collected the eggs for breakfast, and set a lovely table. She kept her silence because she didn't want to let too much out. And then she brought the priest their breakfast and slid out the back way. And then Father Ted came into the kitchen. He said to her, "Okay, Mrs. Doyle, now you might as well tell me what went on yesterday." "Well," she said, "Father, if you want the truth, I'll give you the truth, but I won't lie to you, because I'm not going to confession to confess something I didn't do." "Right, spill the beans, Mrs. Doyle." "Well, you best sit down, Father, because you will need to sit down." What do you mean, Mrs. Doyle? Well, Father, it's like this. I was apprehensive on going because you put me off. But I went. And you know what? I met a loving family. I can't say that about this shower here. When the bishop comes, you're all so bloody mean and selfish. All you think of is yourself. You never seem to think of poor Mrs. Doyle, running ragged in the kitchen. And your floozies, I know what yous get up to. And he went bright red, Father Ted. What do you mean, me floozy? Sure, look at that Bridget woman down in Kerry. Sure, I've heard about you. You've got a son to her. And you're preaching at me about getting involved with interspiritual whatever. Shame on you, Father Ted. Well, tell me, Mrs. Doyle, what's the story? So she said, well, I met a lovely family. And I met this lovely woman called Mary Kelly. She had a lot to say for herself, mind you. And a gift of the gab. You couldn't shut her up. But her heart was beautiful. Broken, mind you. God, she's had a tough life. But I'll tell you what, she's the ace of spades. She works as a carer, apparently. But she's got lovely hands. Healing hands, I might add. But she shepherded me and really looked after me. And there was this gorgeous woman from, I think it was Germany or Austria somewhere, but she spoke beautiful English. She led the day. She talked about the Teo community, how God spoke to the founder, Brother Sean, through Francis, that they were to embrace all faiths because we were all children of the same Godfather. He said, I've never heard such poppycock in all my life. Well, she said, you just better shut up and listen to me because I'm out of here. What do you mean you're out of here? You'd best find yourself another housekeeper, Father. Because for years, I've always put myself down as second best. I'm not the best, and I wasn't in the top 10 when God gave out good looks. But she said, I've been a spinster all my life. I've given me life to looking after you lazy feckin' priests. And you think nothing of me. Well, for the first time in my life, I found me in Dublin, and I met a group of people that don't give a castle me next whether I'm black or white, Catholic or Protestant, practicing or not practicing. They loved me for me, Father. It's more than I can say for you. You use people. When you want house jobs repaired, you put on the soft soap and you go all gooey-wooey, and then the rich benefactors in the village will pay for the roof or the door or the freezer. Sure, there's no warmth in you. You're self-centred. That's your training from the seminary. But I found love, Father Doyle. Father Ted, I found love, said Mrs. Doyle. And it was unconditional. And there was no agenda for them to get me into the Hare Krishna movement, wearing a sari and shaving me head. I mean, I've got little hair as it is. But they were genuine, Father Ted. They were so genuine. They listened to me. But the thing I loved about it, Father Ted, they looked into me eyes. And I was crying because they could see that I was suffering and struggling, that I was oppressed with dogma and fear and guilt. As you say in Dublin, I was full of shite. But there I found love and acceptance. And I want to join them. My God, he said, I'll offer up Holy Mass for you today. She said, you can offer it up for yourself. Because I'm out of here. I found peace. It's taken me long enough to find it because I made so many feckin' excuses. I was in denial. Oh yes, I would listen to Mrs. Murphy in the village and I would be roped into all the scams going and all the gossip. But you know what? I'm sick of the gossip. And I'm sick of lying and telling fibs. I'm going to speak me truth. I'm a child of God, and he wants me to be happy, not miserable. Sure, I'm as miserable as sin here. I'm a dog's body. And as long as you get your belly fed 3 times a day, and your wind up at night. You're grand. Well, I'm off. I'm giving you 4 weeks' notice. And that'll give you a chance to find someone. What about your floozy and Kerry? Sure, she can come up with your son. I wonder what the bishop will say to that.